I'm Myra.
And I'm Tressa, and we're fancy marketing people with Union, a Wyoming-based telecommunications company. Yes, Wyoming really does exist, and we proudly serve the Rocky Mountain region.
On this podcast, we will feature businesses, organizations, nonprofits, and influential people from Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming.
Our mission is to highlight those that inspire their communities daily.
We believe this makes us truly authentic because a journey of 1,000 miles always begins with a single step.
Hey, Myra.
Hey, Tressa.
We're back.
We are back. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. Is it morning where you are? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's about 10:30. Yeah.
It's lunch.
About 10:30. It's lunch
here.
for you.
Yeah, it's lunch, but it's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. I'm on my fasting, I guess. I didn't intentionally mean to fast today, but here I am.
I fasted the last couple of days. It just felt like my body needed a break from food. So felt good. Yeah.
It's
I
good.
only ate. Yeah, it was really good. I feel a lot better.
Mental resilience.
Right? It helps mentally too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Both your body and your mental. Yeah. You can do hard things.
Yes, you can.
It actually wasn't even that hard. I didn't get that hungry. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, that's when I know. If I'm not hungry, then that's definitely something telling me, you know, this has just it's been a lot. So.
Yeah, it has been a lot. Yeah. Listener land, Myra and I were, we survived CFD, Cheyenne Frontier Days, 10 days at the end of July. It is a lot of fun, but it's also challenging to be gone that long, living out of a hotel.
I know. I was really proud of myself because I traveled in a week or so earlier and then was there at Frontier Days, and I packed decently okay. I was really impressed.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah. And then at some point I just said, this is what it is. You know, these are just going to be what I'm wearing, and this is how it'll be.
That's the beauty of traveling sometimes is you have to deal with what you have, right? You don't have a lot of options, so you just have to make stuff work.
Yeah,
So.
and honestly, that's kind of been my situation, I guess, over the last few months. It's really changed my mindset of being, this is what I've got and this is what I have to do in my circumstance. And I don't know, it's really changed my mindset. So I feel very differently when it comes to I don't know, being more simple, but simple in a good way. It's not simple in a negative way, because simple, I don't know if simple's the right term, but minimal, a minimalistic.
Yeah, maybe you don't need as much as you once thought you did. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I get that.
So.
Yeah, I did this challenge, I think it was a year or two ago, where every day, so on day one, you get rid of something that you haven't used, whether you're going to sell it or gift it, or if it's just trash, whatever. Day 2, you get rid of 2 things. Day 3, 3 things. And by day 30, you're getting rid of 30 things out of your home. And it was really interesting. I mean, I've been in my house for forever, right? Since 96. So just the stuff that you build up. I mean, I just went through my cupboard and like some of the cups in there I hadn't used in 20 years. I'm like, why do I even have this? It was really freeing. You know, there's 2 people who live in my house. Why do I need 5 spatulas? What am I? I don't. I use the same one every time.
For when 5 people show up to cook.
Yeah, they want to cook. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all at once.
Never happened. Never going to happen.
That's kind of what I tell myself when I move. I'm like, oh, I'm moving because I need to declutter. That's why I move. I just went through all of the kitchen stuff, and I don't think we kept anything from the kitchen except a few things. And then we honestly ended up buying like new can openers and stuff like that. And the other boxes I gave to my mom. Because she's a hoarder and likes those things. So sorry.
Here's some more stuff to hoard, Joan.
You really wanted it, so whatever. So here you go. But it was. I looked at it and I'm like, why did I even have all that? What was that even for? And did we just buy to think we needed, or I don't know. I don't know what we were doing. So it's very freeing to let it all go.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah. I'm trying to do a new one in, one out policy with shoes or clothes or,
Yeah.
So,
I'm there. I've been about 100 out
100
over
out,
the last couple weeks, so
nothing in. It's just all
nothing
out.
in. Yeah, it's been, well, I got three things, but it's more mindful. I'm
Yeah,
being very mindful of what I'm bringing in.
when you're buying
Hmm.
something or yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
I like
with my
that.
100 out. So
With your 100 out, yeah.
I am really making the good rules pop. So,
Well, today I think we're going to chat just a little bit about union in general. This is pretty exciting. It's our 110-year anniversary this year. And, the Woody family started this in business in 1914. It's currently being led by the fourth generation, right?
mhm,
Yep. And so, it's just a really cool milestone to see a family owned business
mhm.
um, that still is completely dedicated to making sure that rural communities have connectivity. And sometimes it's a challenge in rural areas due to geographics, right? The distances that we have to deal with,
Yep.
the terrain, and they started obviously out in telephone, right? Back in the day, and then moved into the wireless, and now moving into fiber optic internet services. So it's just really cool. I've been with the company for 28 years.
Hmm.
It's cool to see how, they've kept up with the technology, right? And they've kept up with what what do our communities actually need to be successful, to be able to continue to live the lifestyles that they want, right? More rural area, less congestion, but still, have the amenities of potentially working from home or shopping or gaming or
Hmm.
whatever it is that they want to do to connect to the outside world.
Yeah, I think it's the coolest thing. You know, we joke in our intro and we say things, like Wyoming doesn't exist. And we play on that a lot with some of our campaigns and in a quirky, fun way. Cause it is funny, because I think I've mentioned it before, when I moved to Wyoming, my family acted like I was literally leaving to another country, that I was moving to the destitute land. I don't know. They were like, what are you going to do?
Do you
Where's
need a
Walmart?
passport to
Yeah.
get
Like,
there? Yeah.
where's Walmart? And it's so funny because, like, I thought I knew rural, but I didn't know rural until I lived in Wyoming. And so you don't only have, the terrain to go through. You've got the land, the barriers, the separation, and what Union does as a company is really special and really important for the people of Wyoming and those communities that Union serves, because without Union coming out there, honestly, nobody would. Or they might years and years and years later, but right now, Union is bringing them the services they need to function and to exist without, having to wait around for it. So I think it's really unique, because I laughed the other day, because when I'm trying. Well, right now I have a fixed wireless solution for those in listener land, and I would love fiber. And being in North
Hmm.
Carolina, I looked everywhere, and then I finally met someone this weekend at the festival, and they told me they will eventually bring it out to me, but they're bringing it out to my road, and they're going to bring fiber to the prim, just like what Union does in some of our communities. And they said they're doing it because no one else will, and they're doing it through a grant, which is for rural communities. But I am
Yeah.
10 minutes from Buffalo Wild Wings, y'all. So
Wow.
I don't
Yeah.
really know. Because
I am
I
not 10 minutes from Buffalo
no,
Wild Wings.
no, I laughed so hard because I was telling our lovely Catherine, so shout out to Catherine who works with us, about it, and she's like, "Wow, you are out in the country." I'm like, "Yeah,
The
country,
country.
where I'm like I hop and a skip from the Walmart and a TJ Maxx and a Buffalo Wild Wings." But for the grant, I'm pretty sure it's called CAF 2, and I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Basically, is you're so rural that no one's bringing it out. So this is the funding to for those in listener
To
land who
help.
aren't
Yeah.
familiar. Yeah, this is the funding to help. And I laugh because like I said, I didn't know rural until I moved. I really, yeah, it's a totally different world.
Yeah. And we talk a little bit about Wyoming, but we also serve Colorado and Utah.
Okay.
And one of the first communities that we actually put fiber optics into, fiber to the prem, to the residential homes, right? Not just businesses, was Manila, Utah.
Hmm.
So, that's a community of a couple hundred people. I don't remember the exact population. And it is a seasonal community, so it has a lot of influx in the summer versus the winter. But I mean, that's a huge thing for a company to go into these communities where, we're talking hundreds of people, maybe a couple thousand, like we finished
Hmm.
Dell build last year. There's a couple thousand people there. And they can get this amazing fiber optic service to their home. And there are places still in urban America
Hmm.
that this doesn't exist.
Okay.
I consider you urban where you're at, probably
Yeah,
not
no,
that
definitely.
rural, right? But yeah, I mean, it's really a testament to the dedication of the company and the communities that they want to continue to make, to serve and allow them to have, top notch, basically a world class network
Hmm.
is what they're getting. So
Yeah, I
it's pretty
agree.
cool.
It is really cool, and it brings. Um, I know Wyoming people joke, and they're like, "We don't want more people," but
All right, it does,
it
yeah.
does bring people to the
Well,
state. It brings revenue to the state. It's economic growth. It's economic development. It's um, culturally developing the state and the communities, and it brings so much value. And I don't think people really think about that a lot, because one of our ads that we've been running a long time is internet is no longer a luxury; it's a necessity. And it's so true because I mean, like I said, when I was moving into my home, I'm in a new development, I'm in a new construction home, and I could not find internet, and I was losing my mind because one, my job requires it. Two, my lifestyle requires it. With Nola starting school, I stream. I only stream television. I am a complete cord cutter. I've been a cord cutter for years, and if I don't have internet, I don't know what to do. It isn't a
they-
luxury. It's a necessity,
right.
100%. And so, with what Union does is so powerful, and with the fact of it being connectivity and connecting others and connecting people to families, like I stayed in touch with everyone here just like normal, but it allowed me to live that lifestyle that I was desperately searching for, moving to a more urban area that I couldn't find at first. So,
Yeah, it's very cool.
right.
Wow, I just lost my train of thought there for a minute, listener land. It's coming back. That is authentic right there.
It is. It's because you were just staring at this jungle behind me, the butterfly. You're like,
Yeah, it's like lost in that picture.
yeah, through my art.
Through Myra's art.
Yeah,
I'll blame you. Thank you.
it works.
No. And yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about fiber, right?
Mhm.
And what we're doing as far as internet goes. But we're also in the middle of network transformation on our wireless side,
Mhm.
bringing in, a whole, I'm using some terms that maybe people don't understand, but a brand new core that we did a few years ago, and then replacing all of the equipment to be state of the art and potentially going into that 5G arena, or at least 4G for now, but it'll be 5G capable. And as we think about, like what you said, the state of Wyoming, slightly over 500,000 people,
Mhm.
you would not see an investment from another carrier into this area, the kind of investment that Union is putting into that network, to make sure that people have connectivity on their mobile device. Because also, the mobile device is not a luxury anymore either. It's our
Right.
lifeline, right?
Right. Right.
It is everything. It's our banking. It's our communication. It's our social networking, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like anybody doesn't have the need for that device anymore. I remember this was probably, it was quite a while ago, maybe 8, 10 years ago. I was at a conference in Las Vegas, And it was during the recession, so I can't remember what year that was, but I remember getting on an escalator and coming down the escalator, and there was a group, I mean, just, you know, 50 or so people down at the bottom of this conference center. And I'm not joking, not one person didn't look like this. They were all looking at their cell phones. And I was with my coworker at the time, Tina. She still works here.
Shout out
And
to
I looked, shout out to Tina. Hello, Tina. I looked at Tina and I was like, wow, I feel like our jobs are pretty secure. like, like this isn't going away, right? This is, people are obsessed with their devices, right? And we kind of laughed, but it was an interesting visual to see not one person looking at another person, all looking at their device. Everybody was.
and
So
that was, if it was the recession, it's what,
it was quite a
2008?
while ago. Yeah, it was
So,
quite a while ago.
I mean, think about how it's changed and evolved, and now it's kind of worse, I think,
Yeah.
where people are even more. Well, you got it, people buried into it, and then you got people that are going in the minimal path where they're tossing the device and trying to. I mean, now you have to. Okay, so I've, on social media see influencers and different people like that, bloggers, whatever they call themselves these days. And one of the influencers I follow, they end up actually buying a thing. I think it's called a brick. I think that's actually the name of the device, or something like that. And you can put it in your fridge, or you can put it in like places in your home, but it blocks. No, seriously, this is crazy. It blocks your phone from using the internet.
Oh my
And you
gosh.
program it to like block your internet so you cannot get on your devices. And it forces you, the goal of this thing is to force you
Okay.
to get off your device and read a book or play with your kids. Isn't that
Yeah. Or
crazy?
go
Like,
outside.
now you have to
Yeah.
like buy this device and put it in your fridge or wherever the heck you put it to block your signal.
Wow. So
Isn't
the
that
level
bizarre?
of addiction, right? The level, well, I mean, because we're constantly getting the dopamine hit every time you touch that
Yeah.
screen, right? And it is very addictive. I mean,
Yep.
that's a cool invention. Might have to get me one of those. I mean, I try at night. I try to just, leave my phone in a different room. I never actually have it in my bedroom. I leave it out to charge in another room, but it is difficult. Like, how often am I sitting there watching TV, or whatever my evening is happening, chatting with my husband or whatever. And if it's there, like, I can literally feel my body just want to grab it. It's like my mind isn't even thinking it. My body is just wanting to touch it, right? What's happening? I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh my God, I haven't looked for 2 minutes. Woo. So I can see why that
It's
is
awful.
an invention.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, Tressa, with experience IQ, you can set timers
Yes, you
on
can.
your
Yes,
device
you can.
with one of the lovely and beautiful services that comes with Union Internet. You actually can set timers for any device in your home, and it turns it off, and you can't access the Wi-Fi. So it works really good for families, or
Yeah.
um, if you use it in that way. But for myself too, or for yourself, you or your husband, sometimes I used to block Blake's devices on things to test it, and he never knew. So, but it will. I
I
would block
blocked
him
Troy when we
everything.
were testing that, and he was not happy messing with me. I did not do that again.
Yeah,
I've
I
learned
thought it
my
was
lesson.
funny.
I
Yeah.
thought it was funny too. He did not. He did not find the humor in it the same
No,
way I did.
yeah, I could see.
But yeah, and like you tested it also when we were launching it, like for NOLA, right? You can set
Oh, it was
like an
amazing.
age
Yeah.
rating,
And
what appropriate.
that was like the one thing I brought with me was, well, by accident, and I'm glad I have it. I have our modem so that I can use it on my internet here and use the same apps and services. So,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Yeah, good shout out to that. And we're just next week we're going to be launching another new product, whole home protection, which is really cool. It's basically coverage for all of your electronics in your home, your TVs, your computers, your gaming systems. And you can just add that right onto your union bill, and if something happens, you get it replaced. Because I mean, that's everything we have now, right? Is pretty much an electronic. I was thinking about like just two people in a home and how many devices I have that are connected to my Wi-Fi. And it just seems it's unbelievable. My alarm clock, for example,
Mhm.
a couple of Alexas, my TV, our devices, a laptop. I mean, now you can connect, a crock pot if you want, or, a
Mhm.
thermostat, or,
My washer and dryer are,
yeah, your
and
washer and
and
dryer.
it
Yeah.
tells me on my television when they're finished.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I hate that. I think I left clothes in the dryer last night now that you said that.
Yeah, it's actually really nice. And it also, well, my washer and dryer are kind of weird. So, funny story. When we bought our washer and dryer, we watched some reviews on it. And because we YouTube all the, we're
Yeah,
those people.
yeah.
And we're watching it, and the person said, love the washer and dryer, but when it goes off, the timer song is so long and ridiculous that it makes us hate it. And Blake and I were like, oh, there's no way, no way. It is like a 5 minute tune, and Nola loves it. She goes, "Oh, my song's playing," and I'm like, I like
So
hear, I
what's the
hear it in my
song
sleep.
say?
It's just boop boop doo 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 boop boop, but like for 4 hours. I mean,
Oh,
I really
there's no words. It's not like
no, but it's
your
like
clothes are dry, your
I
clothes are dry.
would rather have it sing your clothes are dry because it just goes do
Come
doo
and
doo
fold
doo
me.
doo boop doo 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 doo, for like another 5 minutes, and I'm like, man, this makes me hate it, and I think about that review every time it goes off because that guy warned us. He
He
wasn't
told you, Myra.
and we just said, oh, okay. But I mean, it's not that bad, but it's just hilarious because I'm like, there's no way that guy's being dramatic. Oh no, he was
There's the way.
not wrong. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So
So can you just turn it off, deactivate it,
I
the
think you
song?
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
I
left
mean,
it because it lets us
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
and it
let you
goes
know.
on forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so apparent. Like I said, Nola's like, this is my favorite song, and I mean, she can do a whole jig to it. It's that long. Like
Yeah,
it
well, you
really
can't
is
take
that
that
long.
away from Nola.
No,
Yeah.
so we got to keep playing it. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, anything else you can think of around our 110-year anniversary, or any products that we have, or
Well, I
I'm
just wanted to go back to something we were talking about earlier with
yeah.
our network transformation. Something that I was thinking about, is everyone working on the network transformation is a union employee. It's not outsourced.
Yep.
Everybody in the communities that work for union, the people you see out in public, in the grocery store, in the park, at school, wherever you're at, those are the people that work for union. They're the ones working hard, and they're dedicated to bringing our network up to speed and to be where it needs to be to serve our customers and to serve our communities. But it's real humans, it's real people. Our entire call center, they're real people. When you call, it's you're talking to somebody that lives in your town or in a neighboring community or around you, and we really do keep it authentic that way. I feel like with employing those people who dwell within the Rocky Mountain region and who have a part or who are humans or who stay connected. It's a real voice. You're not punted to some other third party. You're talking to the people who are doing all that they can. And so I think that makes it really unique. And it also really brings a sense of empathy, and humanism. I don't know if that's the
Yeah.
right word, but,
Mhm.
it's a different level. Our customer care team are called customer care, and they really do care. They're not a sales team; they're a customer care team, and that's really embodies that too. And all of our technicians and our construction and everybody, the whole operations, warehouse, you name it, accounting, all the way down to our billing and payroll. Those are humans, and these people live in our communities, and they do a really good job. And that's something that I just wanted to bring up is all of this happening. And engineering, I can't forget engineering. Blake would slap me for
Yeah.
forgetting the engineers and all of our marketing and all of, all,
Marketing. Yeah.
yeah, our group that we work in. These are,
Right.
people that live in these communities, and so I think it makes it different. This network transformation means something more.
Yeah, I think I'm glad you brought that up because that's another mission from the Woody family that I've
Mm-hmm.
heard them talk about multiple times. And it is rare that a company does everything in house, right? Especially a a rural company like us, right? Most of the time they're outsourcing, say, the engineering piece of it, or they're
Mm-hmm.
outsourcing the construction piece. Maybe they outsource the IT department. I mean, but we have everything in house, right? And
Mm-hmm.
part of that is that they want to be able to support the lives of the people in the community, right? Through employment here, right? And so I'm really glad that you mentioned that and that we're talking about it because it is it's a unique thing to Union. As I go and, if I'm at a rural conference and I'm meeting some of our peers in the industry, most of them have, like, from our marketing team, yeah, it's a fairly small marketing team. We have 10 people on our team.
Mm-hmm.
But if I talk to another rural provider, a lot of times they have one person that does their
Mm-hmm.
marketing because they're outsourcing the content creation of it or whatever it is, right, to support it. So it's a beautiful thing that to me, that they've kept that up over the years and seeing the industry changes where a lot of things can now be contracted out, and they've still held on to that, the importance of that. And
Mm-hmm.
I can see it for years to come. So
Yeah,
it's
I
great.
agree.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I
Well, on
think
that
that's
note,
we said
how do
all
you
that
stay
needs to be said.
authentic,
Yeah,
Myra?
that's a good question. You know what? We should answer that. Yeah, I think I stay authentic by I really try to be true to myself. I try to be the same person everywhere I go. So I'm the same Myra at work. I'm the same Myra in my home. I'm the same Myra with my family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the same. This is me, and what you see
Mm-hmm.
is what you get. And I try to really be true to myself and stay grounded with who I am and who I want to be, and to make sure that,
Yeah.
if someone asked, the person that my mom thinks that I am is also who my daughter thinks that I am, and also who my employer or my boss, Tressa, or my friends, they
Mm-hmm.
think that I am. I try to make sure that that's who I am is who I am, and I try to stay original to myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was great. And I do the same thing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
who I am here uh, in the marketing team and who I am, with my other business. I do energy work and
Mm-hmm.
intentions. When I show up there, I'm the same person. And I don't, I mean, authenticity is so important because I think it's where the only place that you can really be joyful is when
100.
you're authentic to
100.
yourself, right? And I've struggled with that over the years, and I can now recognize when I'm in a situation where I want to maybe go into my ego a little bit more than I should. And I try to always just be aware and pull myself back to, is that truly authentic to you? Is that
Mm-hmm.
part of your value system, right? Is that who you want to show up and be in the world? So I try to think about it every day.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
I do too. I try to think about examples, like what example am I? What am?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, wow, so not profound. And what example am I setting for
yeah.
myself and for others?
Yeah.
And what does that look like? Especially as a leader, it really
Yep.
makes you think differently.
Yep. That's,
Um, it's very different. Who am I how am I represented to my team and to those around me, and how am I treating them, and how am I helping them too? I think that that's really changed my thinking a lot of who am I, and how I'm representing myself.
yeah, I agree. Well, I think it's probably time to wrap up
Yeah.
for the day.
Well,
So
thanks, y'all.
until next time.
Stay authentic.